All right. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer of T3Live.com. I hope everyone is doing okay this Thursday. We are here for our happy hour. We've done this multiple times. I know everyone makes fun of me for grabbing a glass of Chardonnay. It's a pretty big glass of Chardonnay. Some of you guys are drinking tequila, vodka, beer, you name it, whatever it is, your pleasure. You're allowed. Just, go into your little office or your little room, wherever you're at, because God knows friggin' offices are closed everywhere, and that's why T3 Live has been so cool, and the 630 Club and Redler All Access and the Virtual Trade Floor, because we could all hang out together. You don't need to be in a centrally located place, which you're not allowed to be anyway. You could be in your home office, which hopefully is, you know, a place that you love, your sanctuary, so you could get your process going, so you could have, your routine in place, because that's what I try and preach to you guys, a routine and a process where you don't have to have perfection to make progress, because we all evolve and try and make progress as traders so we can make a living and do this forever, right? Who the hell wants to get a new job? Not me. Cheers to doing this forever. To my friends around the world, where trading unites continents, so we could do this forever. Because it takes a lot of time, a lot of work to be able to make money every day, to be able to have the wherewithal psychologically to do this every day. So now I'm getting a little beep from compliance. I got to show my positions that I have right now, because this is what we do. We're compliant. I wear my positions on my sleeve. What does that mean? That means people get to see what I'm doing all day live on the virtual trading floor. And here they are talking about everything going on. Wait, can you guys hear? Let's ask. Can you hear? Test test. Did you guys get a link? Are you guys the redheaded stepchilds that didn't get a link? Clear? Yes, you have a link? I'm too close. Link, link, link. Yes? All right. So everyone's hanging out together. Cheers to the virtual trading floor, which is right here. Cheers to you guys seeing all my positions, which is what people see me buy and sell live all day. Cheers to all the Twitter community, because I don't call you guys followers, because we interact and you give me value, I give you value. We try and go through this process together. So cheers to going through this process together. You know why? Because it's a big market. I'm not going to take away from your trade. You're not going to take away from my trade. All I want to do is teach you why I'm putting on a certain trade. And then sometimes you do it better than me. Sometimes I do it better than you. But what I want to do is give you the conviction to learn how to do it so you can push the keys. A lot of times guys are like, oh, thank you, I did this today. I'm like, I didn't do that. And it was a great trade. Or you stay with the trade longer than me. That's fine. What I call myself is like the chief strategic officer. I'm really the offensive coordinator of the trading community, where I put out plays, I put out charts, and lots of times, I run the routes, but not every time I'm not going to go do it. So right now, like, I want to be a running back sometimes. Sometimes I just want to be the wide receiver or the quarterback, and I don't want to be the running back, or I don't want to be the tight end. But, if you like being the tight end because you like a certain sector or a certain setup, and I personally am not that comfortable with it, but I just want to make a little bit, then you guys run with the ball. A lot of that's happened. So anyway, so here's my positions. You could see them. Some things I'm out, some things I'm still in. It's been a little bit of a wishy-washy market. I'm going to, kind of go over each of these trades a little bit, so this way you could look at them and say, hey, why is Red Dog in that? It's a good way to teach, just to say, hey, this is the position I'm in. This is how long I've been in it. And I'm going to try and give a little play-by-play. But first, what I like to do is I like to talk about the market. I like to show you the active sequence that we're in a crossroads. If you tuned in this morning, I'm like, it's a tale of two tapes. You have the bears that say we're in a double top, and you have the bulls that say we're in a cup and handle pattern with a descending channel, that at some point we can get a stimulus. At some point, people are going to be tired. At some point, we're going to break to new highs. So let's take a look at that right now. Let's turn the music down a little bit. So there's the VTF. You see the positions. A lot of different types of positions, but I'll take it over here. So here is the S&P cash. Take a look. Isn't this pretty? First of all, let's take a look all the way back from the March lows. Here is the March lows. Look at this active sequence. Active sequences are what you measure as an active trader to make a living. Sometimes you have bullish sequences. Sometimes you have bearish sequences. Sometimes you have sideways choppy action. It's all different. It's up to you to switch gears in order to not have too much risk on when we're in a corrective sequence, or not have too much risk on when we're in a wait and see sideways sequence, and then you know what, press the keys, get the positions on, use your tier system, maximize trades when the market's acting well. So here was your low, first move up, sideways, another move up, descending channel, another move up, descending channel, another move up. Here we are in a descending channel. All right, so a big time active sequence that if you almost draw a line, which I'm just doing now from the lows, you know, you could kind of go all the way across. And didn't even get into this active sequence. But anyway, that's from the March lows. Let's take a closer look because we want to look closer. We're going to look closer, right? So here we are closer. Closer. Why not be close up? Because we're close, you and me and you. This to me and you and all of us around the world. Every morning it's like guys are from the Ukraine, they're from Russia, some are from my backyard in Jersey City, some are from Manhattan. I got Uruguay, I got the Cuesta, I got Scotland. It's fantastic. It's one of the great things about Twitter is that you can have friends around the world that follow and contribute and and just live life because it's been pretty fun. Anyway, so here you go. So look at this pattern. What does this look like to you? To the bears, they're like, oh, look at that high, look at that high. That's a double top. To the bulls, you have an ascending channel here that broke that pretty much was a catalyst for an active sequence to the downside. So pretty much from like 35.50 down to 3,200. What is that? 300 handles, about 10%. So a 10% corrective phase that if you didn't get caught in, you were able to embrace. So here is when this new phase started, a red dog reversal that had power the following day that cleared a descending trend line. So that put the bulls back in charge, which they've pretty much been in charge since the March lows. So that's why it's a little wishy-washy right now. Nobody really wants to get caught if all of a sudden things change. So when things are in the process or maybe changing, you just want to do a little bit less. That's why I say low gross, low net. What does low gross, low net mean? It means a little less positions, a little less size. So this way you lose a little less if you're wrong while you're trying to wait for things to have clarity. We love clarity. Cheers to clarity, as my news guy is talking about how Intel's getting beat up right here. Anyway, where are we now? Look at this descent from 35.49. This actually is a perfect red dog reversal. Some guys are like, what's a red dog reversal? Or what's an RDR? And how could you be such a narcissistic bastard to name a tactic after yourself? Like, first of all, look at the size of my forehead and how shiny it is. I'm not that narcissistic. I just think it's a term of endearment. Red Dog T3 is my Twitter name. I've been called Red Dog since college, which I'm not going to get into. Maybe I'll tell that story later. But it's better than a bottom tail, a hangman bottom, a 80-20 rule. Just, why not name it something that people could identify with? People like to identify with things and then trust it. And I'm someone you could trust. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm not going to hide behind my desk if I'm wrong. I'm not going to get louder when I'm wrong. I'm going to take my loss. I'm going to move on. Unless it's a special circumstance, which I did break some rules with, which I'm going to talk about later. But anyway, so here it is. So from 35.49 in the S&P down to where did it go today? It went below 34.19, which was prior resistance that turned into support here. And what did it do? It pushed below 34.19, went back above it, and closed at 34.53. So it closed 30 handles above this pivot, which was really important. So some people are like, why does the red dog reversal work? And why do you talk about it so much? First of all, I don't really talk about it so much. When we're trending, the red dog reversal is not there. It's just when you're trying to figure out an area that could be a battleground between the longs and the shorts and the bulls and the bears. So think about it simplistic. I'm very simplistic. I went to SUNY Albany. I used to MC and dance at bar mitzvahs when I was a junior and senior in high school. Got a lot of girls, promoted a lot of clubs. No, I'm kidding. That was fun. And that's what helped me be comfortable on the microphone to be on Fox Business once a week and CNBC since 2008 with Mark Haynes and Aaron Burnett. But anyway, so in order to get to 33.84, right? 33.84. What's that? That's the 50-day. That's a point of reference. That's where a lot of people are saying, hey, we're going to get to 33.84. So in simplistic terms, what do you have to do to get to 33.84? Think. What do you have to do? You have to get below and stay below. Get below and stay below. Write that down. It's a very sophisticated term. The dog pound that I have of analysts in the back that put together in the think tank on what that means with the analytics. Anyway, what does that mean? It means here's 34.19. In order to get to 33.84, it's got to get below and stay below. So people thought, hey, it's below 34.19. It happened like 10:30. And believe you me, I pressed the spies a little bit there. I actually had a really good trade in the Qs with the virtual trading floor, and they'll vouch. They'll vouch that I shorted the Qs and I covered pretty well. Let's see if they'll vouch for me right now. I'm gonna put them up here. Anybody see me short the Qs and then cover pretty well and catch that little trade? Anybody out there want to vouch for me? All right, John Jay's vouching. Tracy's vouching. Chris Pesci's vouching. So if you go here to show you the VTF work, so here are the Qs, which I'm flat. So I started shorting it. If you look down here at 10.19. So at 10.19, I didn't come in short. At 10.19, things felt a little wishy-washy. So I'm like, crap, I have 15 trades on or 15 stocks. Maybe it's going to get below and do a whoosh, and then we'll see if it stays below, and all of a sudden we have a day of volatility that we can't return from unless it gets back above. So if it gets below and stay below, I'm going to stay, gets above and comes back above, you know what? I'll be done with it. So if you look here, look, go to the bottom of the Qs, which just disappeared. So let's go back there because now it's flat. I'm not short the Qs. 10.19 I shorted, 10.20 I shorted, 10.23 I shorted, 10.24 I shorted. So for a good 3 minutes when things were breaking, I started to short. So let's write that down. When was the first one? 10.19. So the virtual trade floor that gets to watch me do trades, and I try and tell the Redler All Access what I'm doing also. It's just, it's hard for me to do. In my note, I'm like, guys, if we break below this and stay below it, you know, it might raise volatility and you have to, you know, adjust. Same way if it comes back above it, you have to adjust. So anyway, I shorted it for those, you know, those 4 different times, and then I covered it all the way to 10.59, and that was the trade. So let's get out of this for a second. Let's go to the Qs. First of all, so anyway, I'll get back to the Qs. So here, it got below 34.19, went to 34.15, went back above it, 4 handles. So there, I did cover some of my spies again that I have on as a hedge. I have a spy hedge on still, which I could be long everything, but I'm not because we're choppy. I could have been long my stocks and been long the spies because it was a red dog reversal, maybe reversal of trend, maybe a bottom here, and maybe we break above 34.64 in order to clear this descending trend line, which might happen or might not happen. All depends on what happens with stimulus and all these other things. But anyway, you know, this is where we're at right now. It gets above this. Same way if you were short, saying, hey, we're going to get to here, and you didn't cover when it did the red dog reversal, you're like, oh my goodness, if it breaks above 34.64, that'll be the first time it clears a lower high where you have a high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high, a lower high. So it clears that. It could go to the upside. What's going on here? Okay, my wife wants to know something. No, it's fine. My wife is she's so thoughtful. She's like, if it's going to be a rush, I'll drop off Chase at basketball because she has girls' night out. Girls, guys' night. You ever watch, what the hell, The Regular Guy? Write down The Regular Guy, Guys' Night. The Regular Guy, Guys' Night. It's the funniest thing you've ever seen. Go on Google, go Guys' Night, Guys' Night, The Regular Guy, and look at like a 3-minute video of all these cartoon characters that have Guys' Night. They're like, the 5 o'clock whistle goes off. They're all having a drink, like Guys' Night, and then they're eating popcorn. They're drinking beers. They're all hanging out on the couch. So anyway, she has girls' night, so a bunch of us are gonna have, you know, a little barbecue. But anyway, where was I? So here. So the same way you had this is your battleground to figure out if we would go to the 50-day or below. This is now your battleground to figure out if we break above this descending trend line that's been in control since October 12th. Okay, gets above this, maybe something changed. Maybe you can't short every lower high as we go sideways. So you got to identify the places where things can change. And as of right now, the bears could have had control, and they didn't. So anyway, here's where perhaps the bulls take the ball back that they've had since the September 24th lows after a retracement from 32.09 to 35.49. If I felt like putting my Fibonacci retracements, which I'm not going to do, if somebody wants to put the Fibonacci retracements on here to here and where we were today, I'll retweet it later, not now. That's what teamwork makes the dream work, baby. So anyway, that's where we are. So I'm still short some spies, but I'm also in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 longs besides a bunch of options. So I've got some risk on. That's what I do. I trade. So let's go to the Qs. What did the Qs do? So the Qs wasn't as powerful. It went below 32, say 282.79 and came back above it. Okay, so it's not quite as powerful because we have a little bit of a rebalance trade on right now. Okay, there's been other things doing better. Like today I tweeted early on, I'm like, I'm seeing relative strength in GE and Ford. I'm in GE and Ford maybe twice every 3 years. And I got back in Ford, I think 2 days ago, and GE 3 days ago. I'll get into that why as well. But anyway, so if you look here, where did it say the first time I shorted it? It was I think 1019. So let's go to the videotape, or go to the daily chart, whichever one you want. So anyway, here's where it looked like it, right? What was the price? 283. So here is 1019. All right, so I started shorting right around 283. That's when it showed, right? Let me see one more time. I'm to the penny here. Okay, so that was 1019. So at 1019, I haven't been short the Qs. I'm like, this is looking a little friggin' fugazi, meaning the bears is trying to take the ball. We're starting to cascade lower. So I started shorting on 1019, right around here. So that's a good short, 283. Then you showed me short 4 more times. So I actually was able to press, and pressing has not worked short. And I hate pressing. I don't like being short, but you got to do it at certain points. So anyway, started shorting. All of a sudden, got below 282, and then went as low as 281. And you will see I started, where was my first purchase back? Started covering around 1030, 1034, 1043. So this is 1030, 1031, 1040. So I covered this whole way. So I started shorting here, pressed here, started covering, and then I think I was done with it right around here. So it was a nice trade in the VTFCs live, and in my Redler All Access note, I talk about that level, and I have to teach them how to do it because they don't get to see it all day live, because all they get is a note and they get charts, and every now and then I try and let them know what I'm doing, or I prepare them for what I'm doing the same way I try and do that in the public Twitter sphere. I can only do so much. I actually put out an ad for an assistant to sit next to me in the Short Hills office from 6 a.m. to 11:30, which is scott@t3live.com, scott@t3live.com. If you live in New Jersey and you think you can get here at 6 in the morning and you're qualified, but it's a tricky position because you're not going to be trading. You're going to be helping me process and helping me push out everything that I'm seeing, because, I can't do it all by only 2 thumbs. But anyway, that's that. So anyway, that was a great spot. And then it reclaimed it. So in order to have broken down, in order for the bears to corral, should have stayed below it. But anyway, it's just like this tailed into resistance, this tailed into support, and we're still back in this range. Now, in order for this range to resolve, range resolution, that's a technical term, range resolution, let's drink to that. The market tries to get you as upside down and frustrated as much as possible for range resolution, because they don't want everyone to get a free ride. If everyone got a free ride, everyone would be doing this and no one would be working. No, you got to frustrate as many people as possible before the range resolution happens. Cheers to not getting as frustrated as possible, because it's not going to get you anywhere. And I was a little frustrated this week, I'll be honest. So anyway, above 287, hey, maybe we get rid of this trend of lower highs, or not. Maybe another inside day and then that. Right now Intel's down 10%. That was to be between us. I freaking traded in Intel after hours. My news guy screwed it up and was all positive. I bought it and I lost a few $1,000s after hours. So after hours is not easy either. So anyway, I guess what you could do also here is draw this like that. And first thing is 285.98. So I draw that in. I try and be as specific as possible. I'm a detail man. As much as I am a detail guy, I'm so not a detail guy. I tell my wife I'm the most easygoing guy in the country as long as it goes my way. But I'm pretty easygoing. I think I'm pretty easygoing. Again, as long as I get my way. Not a good habit. But yeah, I compromise. Compromising is key. Happy wife, happy life, happy dog. I love Cadence. I hope you guys love Cadence. I try and let you guys see her here and there. So this is a spot. That is a crazy spot right there. Oh, look at that dyslexia I just had. 285.98. I put 258.98. I do have a little dyslexia. In kindergarten, I had eye surgery. I had a walleye. It would sometimes go like that. So sometimes when I go out with my friends and I drink a little bit, all of a sudden I can't control my eye, and it goes like that. So if you see my eye go like that, it's a kindergarten injury that I tried to get fixed. Don't make fun of me. It's nice to be nice. Anyway, I just did it there. 285.98. Let's put that back. 285. Jeez. You guys get to really see the nuts and bolts of Red Dog close up. There's no editors here. I have no staff here. I'm sitting here in the Shortles office. We're playing some YouTube. Playing with or without you. The same song's going on. We got to go to a different one. Oh, this is a good one. I still haven't found what you're looking for. Anybody ever see U2 in concert? Fantastic. One day we will be going back to concerts. One day our kids will be going back to school full time. One day youth sports will be in full season. So don't get frustrated. Hang on. Do what you got to do to keep your mind clear. Anyway, I'll let you listen to this for a second while I go to my next chart. But look at this. Internalize this. Only to be. I can't sing. All right. When I was an MC, I was told don't sing. Just like kind of talk over the words. But anyway, so that's this is a key area. What do we have tonight? We have a debate. I think it's so funny that they're going to turn the sound off so they can't interrupt each other. All right. What happened in the small cap world? Small cap world, ooh, look at that. Held where it had to. What was my language here? Oh, I didn't have any language. Or I did have language. But anyway, I said, this is 158.80. He's got to hold, otherwise be careful. And the small caps held where they had to. The banks have been a pain in the ass. But what did it do? It held the bottom end of this wedge. Right? What was here? Most banks were sold on earnings. Last week, the XLF did go green, but bought a RDR, which was here. It could resolve either way. Bears will growl if it gets below and stays below 24.51. Did it get below and stay below? No. It had an engulfing bar to the upside. So it's a pretty bullish bar in the banks. We'll see if you can get follow through on that. Ooh, hold on one second. Let's go back to here. Those are my options that didn't do so well. Or actually, they aren't so bad. So, this day the Bears were in control. This day the Bulls were in control. It's been back and forth, back and forth. Soon, we could have some continuity, I would guess. All right, let's move on. So, the tech names have been a little wishy-washy and not the easiest to deal with. So, you want to go through the positions real quickly. I'm going to go from top to bottom. This is going to be like a speed round. Okay, so you want to take a quick look at the positions again. This isn't in the order of size. It's just in the order. So we'll go through it really fast, and I'll tell you how long I've been in it, when I put it on, and why I put it on. So this way, you guys. And unfortunately, I am out of snow. I should have held that. But anyway, let's go through it first. So it's a speed round. Baidu. All right, Baidu. If you remember, I bought in here stock and options. I had a quick move up. I sold some options. I sold some stock. Held this 128.49. Bought more. Sold some. It's hanging in here. I sold the options I had for Friday. I rolled out to November 5th because I want to have it for earnings. So far, so good. This is hanging in pretty well in the game. That is why I'm still in that. CELH was a VTF guy telling me, hey, look at this chart. It looks pretty good. So I'm like, all right, let me take a look at the chart. I looked at the chart. The chart looks pretty good. Right? Sideways action above the 821 day. Why not be long? I'm in some. Maybe people know something or it's ready to go. It's been in here since August. So that's a nice looking chart. Crone. Fucking hate these wellness names, but I've been in them for a week or so. This one I put on yesterday. Crone is not the best one, but you know what? There's something here. A little descending trend line. I bought it here, still with it. Maybe it can go a little bit more. Not a high quality name. DraftKings. Ugh. I made money, lost money. I lost a lot of money yesterday. I bought it today again. It did a red dog reversal. Look at this red dog reversal. I did not get a good price. I did not buy it here, but it closed near the highs of the day. Just because I did a red dog reversal here and lost money doesn't mean I can't do it again. The stock doesn't remember when you bought it. So here's a red dog reversal. What's that? It went back above 41.25. That was your spot. And you bought the red dog reversal at 41.25 and you weren't worn out. You had a better price than I did. So now we'll see if it can work its way back towards 45. And if it gets above, maybe it can go a little bit. If you got out when it broke the 8-day or when it fell there, this was a good spot. All right. Ford. Hey. Ford, remember we made a lot of money when they unveiled their truck. That was right around here. Then all of a sudden, someone's like, Red Dog, did you see how strong Ford looks? I started buying it in here. Nice move. Still in it, not a barn burner, but I think it could fill this gap. I reduced a little bit today, but I'm still long it. Why not? It's a lot of people are starting talking about, how the regular car names are doing better, so I'm in for it. And it's, it kind of satisfies all my rules, right? Here it broke this little descending channel. Here it took out resistance. Here it held the 8 there on a pullback. Now look at it, and it probably gets there. I'm not in GM, but GM's doing friggin' fantastic too. So you want to kind of see what the sector's doing to see if they have friends, right? You want to hang out with friends. One friend is ugly, the other friend's good looking. They're not hanging out together. You want to have a bunch of good looking friends hanging out together, and that's GM and Ford right now. That wasn't very nice. But, a bunch of nice people. Nice, anyway. Frog. I bought it today. Why did I buy it today? It's going sideways. Looks pretty good. Red Dog reversal here, going sideways. Maybe it gets back to highs. I bought Frog because I came up with this yesterday in here. Look at that move. I'm also long some of this. It looks like it's going to take out 102. Big move. Could probably go to highs. New leadership, right? New IPOs potentially have new leadership. I'm not guessing here, but it got above this. Why not be in some? I looked at Snow, S-N-O-W. This, I came up with a plan here. I put the chart in there. I showed you guys this was your place to buy it. This was your ad. You could have bought it lower, added when it broke 21.7. Now look, really nice trade for us from 245 to 2 area, hit a high. It might need a day of rest. Then we'll see if it can clear yesterday's high for another push. That's another push, I'll tell you. Nice, new name, new chart. You could use charts. So that's why, but I'm out of that. I actually sold it a little early. GRWG. This I've been in since here. I posted this chart here. I've been in it. And then I posted the chart again here. And all of a sudden it's working its way back to 22. I've been trying to massage it. What do I mean by massaging? I don't massage stocks. I kind of massage stocks. This is how you massage someone's shoulders. This is how you massage stocks. By selling some, buying some, selling some. And sometimes you could even buy high and sell higher. Cheers to buying high and selling higher. That's what I really love to do. And if you could buy a Red Dog reversal or in a base and then buy higher, then you're making a lot of money because you're like triple dipping. You know what I'm saying? Cheers to triple dipping. Anyway, let's see if the VTF is falling asleep. Are you guys falling asleep? All right, there you go. What's everyone drinking? Hold on. Let's see what's everyone drinking. JR's not falling asleep. Anybody? Shivas. Okay. Michelle, come on. Red Bull, that's good. Sam Adams Oktoberfest, I like it. A Tropic Torpedo. Jack Daniels, there we go. Water is good. I drink that in the water in the morning when I wake up. Stella. We got a White Claw. We got Blue Moon Beer. We got Napa Cab. Oh, we got Barack. Isn't it nice? That's a little funny thing we do. And some stock that we do makes a nice move. We do a little bit of the Barack dance. That's really funny. Then the movie's coming out, the next one. Anyway, we got a little coffee. Someone's having Dunkin' Donuts. Got a little moose beer. So everyone's doing the thing. Let's go back over here. So where were we up to? We're up to GWRG. All right. Then the next one on the list is Mustang. Okay, this is a spec bio that for some reason everybody I think has way too much of because we were in snap options, we were in pin options. Guys are making a few 100% on their options, and all they're worried about is every 10 cents that MBIO goes down. It's a spec bio. That means you have way too much. Either which way, you look here. B. Riley put a $9 price target. Cantor put a $7 price target. It hasn't acted well. I have at some point today I had a lot more than I've ever had, and it hasn't been fun. So think about if you're pissed off. I'm even that much more pissed off. And I have 19 other positions to manage. But it's one position. It's one spec bio. So if you've overweighted it and it bothers you, you obviously broke your own rules and you had too much. So anyway, I'm still in this long range. And I do think it has a hell of a lot going on. Tomorrow they do have a conference, for a prostate conference. They're speaking at 11:50. Maybe they'll come out with data first thing in the morning. And hopefully, it actually pops back up into here, and then if they get accepted for ASH and they get their data for the bubble boy and leukemia lymphoma, last time they had good data, it had a really big move. But I think some of you guys got to be very honest with yourselves. You bought too many shares, and you're too upset because you got too greedy. So anyway, look at yourself and figure out if you have too many. But anyway, all in all, it's still in this range, and it hasn't been that much fun. And hopefully, a spec bio gets the news that can't be ignored, and we get paid for it. But we'll see. There's a lot of risk with these things. It could be $1, or it could be 6 or 7 in the next month or so. So just know what you can handle. So that's MBI overstock, pain in the ass stock. But I did buy it today. Why did Red Dog buy it today? Because it did a Red Dog reversal after a big pull in from the 8th day. I also bought some stock for earnings, and I'm in it. So that's it. It's pain in the butt. Maybe we get some follow through. Maybe we don't. This is support. TME I bought yesterday. First time. Why did Red Dog buy it yesterday? Well, I did buy it here. If you remember back in the day, I had a big move to 18 and got out of the way. Somebody's calling me from Louisiana. I don't know who that is. I'm not taking it. So I came back into here. So I said, let me buy some. Look at that nice little move. 2-day move. We love day-and-a-half moves. As an active trader, you see a day 1, you love a day 2, and then maybe you get a day 3 and you start selling some. Cheers to a nice day 1 with heavy volume that sometimes give you a day 2 where you have to buy in the hole for it to get above the day 1's high and give you another. You know what? Snow was absolutely perfect for that. So here you go. Snow, okay, gave you, this is what I call a big day 1. Big day 1. All right, it opened up a little weaker. It absorbed it, cleared the day 1 high. In order to get to 278, same concept as before. What did it have to get above and stay above? 271.29, which it did, and it got to 278 and then some. So it opened a little lower. You could have said, okay, bunch of days, big stretch, needs a little time. Maybe it would have hung out here and you would have to sit instead. It hung out here, traded above this. If people were short, they had to cover. If people thought it was going to 278, they had to get through 271.29 first. Not rocket science. It's just called technicals. And then boom. And now in order to get to 319, what's it going to have to get above and stay above? Today's high of 301. But I'd be careful, buying this now. So that's how you have to think about it. Who's on the other side of the trade, and what does it have to get above and stay above to go higher, or what does it have to get below and stay below to go lower? It's rocket science. What time is it? It's 4:58. Let me just tell my wife that it's okay. I could take him to basketball practice. I'll tell him all good, all good. You guys want to hear Selena? No, because she might say something mean to me. No, she won't. She's good. Relationships, balance. You got to keep everything balanced, right? Like when Miyagi says, I can't wait for Cobra Kai 3 to come out. If you haven't seen Cobra Kai and you didn't watch season 1 and season 2, and you're a 1972 guy like me, or maybe 75, or you're in the 40s, it's a great show for you and your kids. I watched it with Chase. It was fantastic. But anyway, day 1 to day 2, if you held it through this, then you trim a little bit on day 3. You don't buy day 3. Anyway, that's just a good day count rule lesson. I like to give you guys lessons, right? Hold on. Let me give us a song while I go grab a little bit more wine, just a little bit. Let's see what everyone wants to see, what everyone wants to hear. If I get 3 people to agree on the same song, I'll play it. Let's see. Song request. Rolling Rock is similar? No, it is. Rolling Rock is like you're on the beach, you're playing volleyball, you're sweating a little bit, almost like a Corona with lime, and you want to just drink all day. I like IPAs. All right, where are you guys? Dreams by Van Halen? Okay, I like that. Good choice. I'm going right there. I'm not even fidgeting. Dreams, because we all have dreams, and we all want them to come true, but what do dreams take in order to come true? It takes a goal. How do you have a goal? By writing it down. How do you reach your goal? By giving yourself a plan and a process to reach it. There you go. Dreams, Van Halen. Here we go. 5, 4. Yeah! You should see me back in the day when I was an MC. I'd have the tuxedo on. I was like 22 years old. Everybody walking in, I'd be like, yeah. I used to have a great intro, but maybe I'll do that a little later. But I'm going to grab a little bit more wine. So everyone take a little refresher. I can only go for 15 more minutes. So get another glass of something. You're not going to miss anything. So go get class and come back, and I'm going to finish the rest of the list and give you some reasons why I'm still in these things. So this way you can learn why, because there's a lot of different reasons to be in things. And when you want to get out of things is when the reason changes. Not because you lost a little bit too much, because you had too much size and you bought it late or you didn't have the right price. It's when the trade changes. Right there. I'm going to go to my refrigerator. I got a refrigerator in Short Hills where I got to be, cool about it. By the way, are any of you guys Rocky fans? I'm a big time Rocky fan. So Chase makes fun of me because we've seen all the Rockies. I know everyone hates Rocky 5. I don't like Rocky 5 either. It served a purpose. He came back from Russia. He was a little brain damaged, and he became a manager, and he had to come back, to basics. You all have to go back to basics. Rocky 4, he had his Lamborghinis. He bought Paulie a robot. He was training in Russia. He was, on top of the world. So came back. He's friggin' accountant. You know what he did? He friggin' signed the power of attorney, and he lost all of his stuff. So this is like my half shirt. So remember, in Rocky 5, he walked around a lot with a half shirt and a hat on. So you make fun of me that this is like my comfortable, Rocky 5 half shirt. Figured I'd share that with you. Cheers to that. This is unplugged. All right, so we're going to move on. By the way, we have a lot of options on here too and stuff. Where are we with Snowflake? What's next? Pelletier, PLTR. This looks pretty damn good. This was your whatever IPO high, however they did it. I think I got involved in this day, trimmed some. Here's your red dog reversal. Now it's getting very tight. Some news with the government about tracking COVID vaccines, whatever. It's been going sideways for a while. I'm pretty big in this one for now. Nice looking pattern. I don't think they have that lockup till February, so there's time. What's next? SDGR. Remember that one? The descending trend line. Another tactic right here. Here is your topping, engulfing bearish bar that says bye-bye. And then it broke below the 821 day, came back, retested it, lower high, and then boom, boom, boom. This day I posted this everywhere. Said, hey, this is the time. Had a nice move, and now it looks like, it's holding higher here, and I just bought it back today. We'll see if it can work its way back up. You have a low, a higher low, maybe it's starting a new trend. I don't love it. I'm in small. TLRY. Remember this thing when it went to 300 and friggin' cleaned everyone's arses if they were short? Oh, that was a crazy time. Anyway, I've been back in this one ever since this day. Sold some, bought some back here. I've been hanging out in it. I do think it could see, the cannabis names are strong. It's not the most quality, obviously, but I feel like, a lot of shorts. If you're moving and wants to move, why can't this thing get to the 8s? Or maybe even more. Look where this thing was. Look at that move. Remember that move? And it's all the way down here. Anyway, so that's just one of my wellness names. I can take some size, and it's been acting well. But my real one, according to the charts, was this GRWG because it's quality. Came out. It's a newer name. Or actually, it's it. Maybe it's not that much a newer name. 2017. Okay, I thought it was. I actually thought it was newer than that. But anyway, this is quality above all the moving averages, real close to the all-time highs. So, I'm in it. Crone, again, I showed you before, is just something to do. Sometimes there's something to do. It's good to have discipline and not do things, not do things when there's something to do. Not do things when you don't have to do things. But sometimes you just do things for a trade. It doesn't always have to be a swing. It doesn't have to be a thesis. It doesn't have to be your base case. It just needs to be a trade to make some cash flow and net money. We like netting money, don't we? So let's move on. Twitter. This has been fantastic. Twitter talked about can it hold the gap. I bought it when it reclaimed 48.65. This is looking really good. Why did I focus on this? Because Snap was fantastic. Snap, I have a call spread on. I'm maxed out, unfortunately. I've been long it from here. Descending trend lines. When things break descending trend lines, that is when you get excited. Then you stay with the trade. Then when it breaks an all-time high, you get more excited. And now look. Wow. What a fantastic swing trade, continuation trade using your tier system, options, stock. You could have made your entire year in Snap. And you know what? I've been in it for a long time. And I think my virtual trade floor, I'm going to say, is a little friggin' spoiled. I'm going to call them out right now. Who made a lot of money in Snap on the virtual trading floor? Anybody? You guys still listening to me? So I gave in on the public Twitter sphere also. Anyone? Rick did. Okay. No one else made money in call spreads or in the stock, made a bit. Dennis had a thumbs up. All right. I think people have fallen asleep out there. But anyone, no one's like, oh, great call, because there's been so many good things happening, and now it's like a slow, steady trend trade. Anyway, let's move on. Is that everything? So, Baidu, I have options on the 140s for earnings. CLDR, I lost money. Gold, I have two different option trades on, not for the near term. This is why I don't trade gold. This looks great here, and then it gaps down back into support. I don't like to trade it because overnight the dollar, this and that. So what did I do? I bought 185 calls for January just in case we get a big stimulus bill and gold goes nuts again. If you remember in here, it took so many failures before finally breaking above 165 to go to 195. So I gave myself some room here. I'm in gold options, the 185s for January and the 181s, okay, for November, which still has a lot of time. And if we get it move, I'll turn them into call spreads. Pins, we bought the other day. Pins is trading really nice. It also held the gap. A little bit more time here, and maybe next week at earnings it gets above 52 and goes. I was buying it in here. I sold some strength. I'm staying with. Sono, I think, is interesting. Big day one today. If you remember, I was in this thing from here when Citron came out positive, and we had a decent trade up into the 17s and got stopped out. And now there are some people who think this is very cheap. There are some people who think this is going to get taken over. For me, it's a day one. I'm in a lot of the, which ones? The November 2015s. So if it works its way back to 1655, I make a lot of money. If it gets taken over, I make a friggin' lot of money. Anyway, that's that. Space was a pain in the ass. Space I had really good entries. I can't be upset about this. You know, I was in it here, bought more, sold some. Red Dog reversal. What's a Red Dog reversal? Well, it was as high as 2254, came and bought 2055s. Bought more, and then this was the Chanos friggin' tweet, and I believed it. Like, why not? Anyway, you know, I bought more right here, and I got stopped out, and I'm still in the options for next Friday. I'm going to need some kind of miracle. All you need is a miracle. Let's get. So I always ask. You know what? I ask my virtual trading floor for earnings. When's earnings? What, you know? They're like my think tank. So what's the song? You know, when it goes, here's to ground control to Major Tom. There, near, 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 near. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Yes or no? David Bowie. Okay. I like that song. I want to do. We're talking space. I thought about that song. David Bowie. Okay, what's the name of it? Space Oddity? Oh, here it comes. We're gonna chill out for a second and stop the charts for a second. Right? Hold on. Can you guys hear? It's like a very deep song. Sometimes you gotta be like deep, and you gotta friggin' think about your life and think about what's important to you and think about what things you could work on, what things you could do better at, how you can make a difference with your family, with your loved ones, with your friends. how you could be nicer, how you could add value to a community and control what you can control. And listen, mistakes happen. But if you acknowledge mistakes, you grow from mistakes. You know, I listen to a lot of motivational videos when I work out and I run on the weekends. And they'll all say, fail forward, right? Fail forward, meaning you're allowed to fail, but if you don't move forward from your failure and acknowledge it, you're never going to grow. I like this part. Cheers to this. Anybody ever go to the Hayden Planetarium when they were in high school or college? Sitting up there to the David Bowie show? I'm sure nobody did any funny things. Nothing smelled funny that day. We all did that here and there. I didn't go a lot of time. I really was pretty clean cut. Not saying if you went and you did funny things that you're not clean cut. I was always playing sports. I was playing flag football in college. I was coming home on weekends to MC bar mitzvahs. I was president of my fraternity. Yes. Yeah, had a little funny smell in that place. So one thing I want you guys to always take from me is that I'm not the smartest guy. I didn't go to the most sophisticated college, but I did a lot of things to keep myself well-rounded, balanced, and happy, because that's what you have to be to think straight. If your home's not working well, if your family life, your friends, it's hard to think straight. If you're feeling overweight, if you're not happy with yourself, you can't be happy with your intrinsic power to make decisions. You need to be intrinsically feeling well to trust yourself to push the keys. If you're off and you're edgy and you're on tilt, leave the goddamn office. It's going to cost you a lot of money. You know, I've had traders actually say to me, I'm so fucking happy. I just got married. Why am I having my biggest strut ever? Or I just had my first kid. I love it. And I can't make a trade. I'm like, you know why? You're stressed because you're worried about making money. You have a responsibility now. You're married. You have a kid. You're worried about your monthly nut. You're worried about your future. You're worried about your kid's future. So you're a little thrown off. It's natural. I'm like, relax. Doesn't mean you don't love your wife and you're unhappy you're a father. It means, or a mother, it just means you're a little bit more stressed. So when you're stressed, you have to bring down your stress level and start being confident, and you got to think clearly. So when you have major events in your life, sometimes it creates a bad trading mindset for you, whether they're happy or sad. So just think about that. Next time you're in a rut, why are you in a rut? Because you've added extra stress to yourself. Your mind isn't clear. What do they say? You know, full heart, clear eyes, or clear eyes, full heart. Can't lose. Texas basketball, Friday Night Lights, baby. But it's true. See, where are we at? Doesn't matter. It's 5:15. I really love the fact that you guys, if you're still here and you started with me and it's a half an hour later, cheers to you for dealing with my babbling. I feel like I've been doing this for 22 years, so there's some things that I could say and there's some things you could write down and some ways you could grow from just listening to me talk. And I could grow from you also. A lot of you guys tweet to me, you email me, and sometimes I'm just talking to myself. As a trader, you talk to yourself a lot, and we're not crazy. It just happens. And you have to listen to yourself, because if you listen to yourself and you write things down, that's what creates your inner trading voice. Your inner trading voice is your friend. That's your seat time. Your seat time tells you when you should be honoring your stop, when maybe you should be adding to a position, when things feel a little funky, when you're not feeling on your game. So listen to that inner voice. And that inner voice is created by your seat time and your experience. And the more experience you have, the more you'll trust this little guy on your shoulder telling you what to do. The more you work on your process, the more his voice gets stronger. The more you have a routine that you love that you do every day, the more you will execute with confidence because you're prepared and you're not just a deer in headlights. So the key to this market is not the holy grail of software and analytics and just a lot of people are looking for the special pattern, the special, I don't know, the MACD, the this. It's not. It's your process. Your process is the formula that's going to give you success and give you longevity in this business. And how do you have a proper process? It's by having the right balance. How do you have the right balance? By figuring out what makes you happy. How do you figure out what makes you happy? It's different for everyone. But the first thing is being prepared and having a routine that you love so you can do it every day. I'm up every day, 4:45. I'm drinking my water. I'm having a little multivitamin. I'm having my coffee. I'm massaging Cadence's head a little bit. I'm giving her a treat. And then I'm looking at the overseas markets. And then I'm tweeting to Redler All Access. And then I'm making my day happen. I'm coming in here. I'm talking to the VTF. I'm then doing my 6:30 video. And then I'm writing my note. And then I'm updating my charts. And then I'm doing my video. And then I'm posting my charts, and then it's 9 o'clock, and then I'm getting on the radio, and I'm getting ready to trade. And then I'm getting in the moment, and then I'm trusting all the work that I put in from 4:45 to 9:30, and then when the market confirms plan A, B, or C, I'm getting in there, and I'm executing with confidence because I'm prepared. And how do you be prepared? By having your routine that gets you up early so you can do your work. With that being said, cheers to you. Thanks for tuning in. I have gratitude to my friends around the world. We'll do this again next week. Tomorrow's another day. If you had a bad day today, big deal. Doesn't define you. It's not who you are. There are a lot of days out there. Go burn it off. If you had a great day, don't get over your skis. Don't let your highs get too high, your lows get too low. It's all about happy mediums. That's what life's all about. Happy mediums. Enjoy the moment and live life to the fullest because you never know when they're calling your number. And I'll say something about, John B., who wasn't a good friend of mine. I knew him on Twitter. I know that JC and I know Josh Brown and a lot of those guys in the StockTwits community liked him a lot, and he was a great guy. And boom, brain tumor. I don't know how many months it was. Could have been 3-4 months, and he passed away this week. Fucking happens fast, dude. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't want to end on. I don't want to end on a bad note. Just don't sweat the small stuff. What's important might not be that important. And if it is important, pay attention and keep moving on and keep evolving. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning. Have a great night.